Hello and welcome to the seventh episode of the Soggy Boiz podcast. And as I've started from what I mentioned in the last one, which was my solo podcast, which I took way too long to do just by myself, I am now linking my Instagram and my print shop in the description, and I'll also have it up on the little visual that I put on the podcasts, so you'll be able to see it there as well. But now we are doing the part two of the one from when Vivi came down here. And this time, what will we be talking about?
Okay, so this time we'll be talking about the differences in demographics, like I mentioned last time, and my experiences feeling like a minority. And then I wanted to end off talking about food, because that's a major thing.
Yeah, food, yeah, you don't think too much about it, especially like urban areas.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, the food can be very different from Fresno
Yeah.
to Houston. And I never really think about it, so that'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you want to jump into first among all those things?
Right. So I guess demographic, because one of the biggest differences I feel from between like Fresno and Houston, this feels weird. I feel like I'm on an interview. One of the biggest differences that I like noticed between Fresno and Houston is the demographic. First of all, I guess there's a much higher population of blacks here from what I've noticed, and like literally to anyone listening, I hope that doesn't come off as like, oh, there's too many blacks here. Like, no, it's just like a major thing that I noticed.
Also, it just sounds weird saying blacks. It almost sounds like something racist, but it's not. There's no racist intent. It's just saying that.
Well, like originally when I was going to talk about this, and I remember you telling me like, no, you don't say blacks, you say African Americans. But I feel like 10 years ago I was told, no, you don't do that, because not all blacks are from Africa.
Yeah, I'm not.
If anyone's listening
right.
and I say something incorrectly or offensively, please know I don't mean to, but you're free to like comment, correct me.
Oh boy,
those
fun comments.
I'd rather know though. So yeah, just know I'm not trying to sound offensive or anything, since we are talking about different demographics. So
we're not going, oh, those darn blacks. No, we're not.
Yeah. But so yeah, major difference is I feel like that's there's definitely a much higher population of blacks here in Houston as opposed to where I lived in Fresno. How do I like just to like put into perspective, in Fresno, the demographic there, what I saw the most of was Hispanics. Primarily, I assumed most of them were Mexican American, but obviously I actually could have just been mistaken about that. But I feel like the majority of people there are Hispanic, and then obviously white people. We have a somewhat kind of small population of Asians, but it's there.
When I was down there, I didn't see any Asian people.
There's not that many.
It was mainly just like white guys in their 20s, or Hispanic, like just Mexican Americans who were just either like it was weird. They were either in their teens or they were like in their 50s. I didn't really see anyone in between.
You're right. I don't really see in between.
Yeah, it's either like you're in your teens, or like maybe 20, like or very very early 20s, like they just hit 21 or something, or they're like 40, 50.
I mean, I saw a bigger variety, I guess, of like a bigger range of ages, just because I'm Mexican American, so between my family and family friends and everything, we saw like more different ages. But so in Fresno, as far as I could tell, majority of people were white, Hispanic of some sort, and we had like a small population of Black, Asian, and then just a small sprinkling of other things. It's interesting, I was like talking about this with Caitlin a little bit, and she sent me a link to a little article or info page about the demographic in Houston, and then another one for Fresno. I don't remember the specifics, but in the one for Fresno, it mentioned that there's actually a decent population of people from, what was it?
I don't remember what it was, but wasn't it in African country?
No.
It was European?
It's something, kind of like Russia, Romania,
Was it
It starts with an A. Armenian.
Armenian?
Yeah, I didn't know this, but apparently it kind of makes sense. There's apparently a good number of Armenians in Fresno because at some point they like kind of immigrated there.
Kinda immigrated. They did.
They
They
immigrated
kind of like they
there.
were there, and then they came back. They weren't sure.
No, but it makes sense. One of my coworkers was Armenian, and she was really sweet. And then I remember one day when I was taking the bus to work, back when I used to take like 2 buses to work.
Oh yeah.
I had so many different like forms of transportation to get to work, but when I was doing 2 buses, I remember one day I was just seeing like a line of cars driving by, and they all had this flag on them, or like multiple flags, and they were really pretty colors. I think I remember there was like a peach color, there was a yellow, and I don't remember what the last color was, but I was like, what is this? What's going on? So I actually looked up the colors of that flag, and there were like a few answers as to what it might have been, but I think one of them had to do with Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Hopefully.
But yeah, so it kind of makes sense. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, and then as far as Asians go, I actually remember when I was growing up, I actually I was born in San Jose, and that's where I went to elementary school. In my elementary school, the demographic there was majority Hispanics, Vietnamese, and then white. Like I feel like it was half and half Hispanic and Vietnamese, and then like a third of it was, whites. So that was interesting. In San Jose, I feel like there were a lot of Vietnamese people when I was younger. When I've gone back to visit, I've noticed there's like a higher population of Koreans. In Fresno too, I've seen like maybe a couple here and there. Then again, I don't know if it's because more of them are moving out here, or if it's just because when I was like 18, I started teaching myself Korean.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now that I know more about like how their language sounds and how it's written, maybe I'm just
You
noticing
just see it now,
more.
and so instead of thinking, oh, they're either just Vietnamese, now you're just like, oh wait, no, that's Korean. They're Korean. They're not just whatever the demographic shows.
Yeah, but I know in my school it was a majority of them were like Vietnamese because like half of like the majority of the Asians there, their last name was Nguyen.
Of course,
Yeah.
Wen. Not, I don't think it's Nguyen.
Nguyen.
It's Wen.
Pretty sure it's Nguyen.
It's Wen.
We can ask Heidi.
My dad says the Nguyen's. It's the Wins.
No,
right?
your dad says like the new ones. It's Nguyen, I think.
I don't think it's Nguyen.
If anyone knows, please correct
We
us,
just
but
watched
I
a
think-
BoJack episode of where the pharmacist was
Yeah.
on Nguyen. I don't think it's Nguyen. It's Win. I'm pretty sure it's Win.
Well, I don't know, but a majority of them had that last
I'm
name.
the white
Does
guy.
this
What am I
sound racist?
saying?
I don't know.
I'm the white guy. I'm the one at fault. The white guy trying to tell the Vietnamese what their last name is.
No, we're like two other races arguing about the correct way to say the name.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that was that was in elementary school. But yeah, so as far as Asians go, I feel like there's maybe a teensy bit more in Fresno or California, but like it's not a huge difference.
Yeah. Then you came down here.
Yes. So sorry, my mind's like a little bit all over the place, but yeah. So in California, or at least where I live, there are a small amount of Asians and blacks, and then the majority were Hispanics and whites. Here in Houston, it's obviously there's plenty of white people, and then I feel like there's actually a really big majority of black people, like almost equal to.
There's a big black community down
Yeah,
here.
I feel like it's almost equal to the Hispanic community, which is new to me because I'm used to like growing up. There was like a major, one of the bigger populations was Hispanics, so it's kind of a difference. I guess one way that I would describe it is like here. This is gonna sound kind of weird, but like I feel like whenever we're outside, like 1 in every 3 or 4 people I see is black, whereas in where I lived before, maybe 1 in every 8 people. And I feel like that's a kind of big difference.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I saw any black people in Fresno.
You probably
Now that I think
there
about
honestly isn't a whole lot. Like, I mean, I feel like California is supposedly very diverse, but
Not in Fresno.
Fresno, yeah, not in Fresno. Yeah.
Okay, Fresno is one of those smaller. It's like a small big city.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
But so it's not no one wants.
And it's like very agricultural, so it's
Yeah.
kind of natural that you'd have more Hispanics there.
Yeah, like no one's moving to Fresno because they want to be there. And I hear that a lot too. Like everyone's moving away, but yet people keep coming. It's weird.
Everyone wants to move out of Fresno. Everyone that I
like
talk to is
everyone
like,
wants to, but no one does.
No one wants to live there. But yeah, so here in Texas, Houston, yeah, a big majority is blacks. There's still plenty of Hispanics here. I would say it's about equal to like California.
Yeah, because we're close enough to the border.
Yeah, a few.
That sounded also. It's not wrong though.
No, like just objectively speaking, we are close to the border.
Yeah.
As is California, because in California we have San Diego. So, but yeah, another here in Houston, I noticed there's also a lot more like Indians, Muslims, etc.
Yeah,
actually, like Middle Eastern people.
Actually, I'm not sure if maybe it was just because I was younger and I didn't notice, but since it was when Obama was it was president. Whenever I don't remember exactly why, I was too young to really like know, but it was when everyone from the Middle East was like, they put like the refugee label on all of them. And the people, because they were refugeeing from there, but it became like a political thing, so they were refugees now, and so they came. Whoops, what is that? Oh, sorry. So they came all the way from. Yeah, sorry. There was a thing that popped up on the computer. It was some weird warranty thing. Okay, well anyway, so it was people coming from the Middle East coming over here, and before then, I don't like. That may have been So before then, I don't think I noticed many Middle Easterns here, or it didn't seem like there were any in Houston, or there wasn't a big population.
Right.
But then after there was this big movement of them coming down here, and then all the big fights about like should we let them in? Are they terrorists? This and that, Then I don't know if it was either the awareness that made me just realize they're here, kind of like
you noticed them more because it was being talked about,
or if they literally came here because they were literally coming here.
Yeah, we'd have to like look into that.
So yeah, like they're just, I don't know, like growing up, I don't think I saw many of them, but then after that, it just seemed like they were all here now. It could have just been an awareness thing, like when you learn a new word and all of a sudden
it's kind of like the thing with like Koreans. I don't know if they were there from the I don't know if they existed before I knew about them.
No. But
yeah, because I remember you telling me there's like where your park is, like that neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
There's like a big population.
The park that I go to go running and exercising at, the homes, there's some houses that are kind of up on a little bit of an upper level of some rocks. There's like a rock wall that kind of is a elevation, and there's a bunch. This is a big neighborhood, massive homes. They're probably, I'd say, 700,000 and up, maybe. Yeah. These are big boy houses, and I think a lot of those are owned by Middle Eastern families, because a lot of the people that are at the park are just Middle Eastern. It just kind of correlates. I don't know, like why would there be so many if they don't live there?
Right.
There's just too many of them for it not to be something that correlates to who's living in that neighborhood, and so I also didn't really notice that many living here until I started going there more regularly, and just being like, oh.
But I've definitely noticed like here there's a bigger population of Middle Easterners. It's funny actually because once when I was in community college, there was this girl there, and I think she was dating a Muslim guy, and she once asked me if I was Indian. I was like, no, I'm Mexican American like you. And then also,
why'd she ask you if you were Indian?
I don't know. Okay, here's the thing.
Dating a Muslim guy, are you Indian?
I think it's because she was dating him. She like kind of like assumed my features were kind of Indian-ish.
But
Like,
that still doesn't answer my question.
I don't know. I just
We'll get her on the next episode.
I guess that's a funny thing. I feel like sometimes this is like something I've heard too, like that Mexicans and Middle Eastern people kind of look a little bit alike. My mom, her dad, her parents, they lived in the Middle East for a while, Saudi Arabia, I think, because he was doing work there. He was like really good with computers. They were living there for a while, and some guys would just walk up to her dad and start speaking as if Hindi, as if he was one of them. He's like, sorry, I don't. Yeah, because I guess they look alike. And it's funny because actually I forgot to tell you. I think it was yesterday when I was at work. This little old lady was trying to find something, and like I was in that aisle. She's like, so she asked me to help her. She was looking at this brand of beans, and she's like, how much is this? I was like, 98 cents, like it says right there. She's like, oh, okay. And she was like looking at me for a bit, and she's like, oh no, okay. So we were talking, and like I could tell she was like slightly struggling to think of how to say what she was trying to ask.
Like she definitely, English is her, like she's still learning.
Yeah, and so like I kind of kept myself from just like breaking into Spanish, because sometimes if a customer comes to me and like I know they're Hispanic, I'll like make it a little bit easier by just like, hey, I can speak
Hola,
Spanish.
mi amo Juan. That's all I know.
Yeah, so I was thinking of like maybe speaking in Spanish. I also just kind of have that habit because half the workers there speak Spanish too, and like we'll like interchange between English and Spanish. But I didn't. But after a bit, she's like, do you speak Hindi? I was like, no. So she thought I was, and she's like, oh, what languages do you speak? And I was like, English and Spanish. So that's like another instance where someone kind of thought that I was Middle Eastern.
Not Middle East. India isn't in the Middle East.
Well, yeah, I don't know, because after that she asked me, she's like, there are two Muslim ladies. Are they here? I was like, I'm not sure.
Do they speak? Is there a hint? I don't know.
I don't remember which language she asked me if I spoke, but
yeah, now I'm confused because if she's
no, I'm sorry. I know India is different from like the Middle East.
Yeah, I was going like.
I think Hindi is from the Middle East, right?
No, Hindi is India.
Okay, and then the Middle East.
Middle East, they speak
This is horrible.
Gee, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It's a pop up in the old Google. What language?
I mean, there's multiple.
Yeah, but like the main language they speak
Islam
in, Middle East. Let's see. Oh,
Arabic.
I'm an idiot. It's Arabic. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make sense because she didn't ask me if I speak Arabic. She asked if I spoke Hindu, I think.
I feel stupid now. Like,
we kind of are stupid.
It's Arabic.
Yeah.
I know it's Arabic.
I mean, I think
it's just general. No, but like Arabic is like general Middle Eastern language.
Yeah.
Why did I blank on?
I don't know. There was some language she asked me if I spoke. I was like, no, I speak English and Spanish. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, okay. There's like two. She said Muslim or Islamic women. But yeah. So where I was getting with that is there is a higher population.
I mean, there's like Arabic, Hebrew, Kurdish. I think I probably said that wrong.
Well, I think there's a population of like Middle Eastern and also Indian people here. Like there's both.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So Asian. Oh, another thing I've noticed here, like very small amount, but I feel like this is something I don't see in Fresno very often at all. Is you have these people who I think are Asian and Mexican or Asian and Hispanic. Yeah. One of my bosses, I think she is, because when I first saw her, I just thought she was Asian, but then she started speaking Spanish like really well. I was like, oh, but her last name is, well, I don't know if I should mention people's names, but I think she's Hispanic and.
I mean, is it like a super unique last name, or is it like a common? Because it was common.
It's Sen. Sen.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Which I know is not a Mexican name, so I think she's Asian and Hispanic, which is pretty neat. And then I think there's one other guy at work, at the pharmacy, and he also, I can't really tell if he's Asian or Hispanic. I shouldn't assume, obviously, but yeah, I think there's a small percentage of people of that Um, here, what else? I have it.
Yeah.
Speaking of like demographics, it's kind of like confusing me. I don't know like where to.
Yeah, we grew up
tie it all
American
together.
school system. Well, I mean, you were homeschooled, but like same thing.
I
it's
did go to
still the
elementary,
American
though.
curriculum, though.
Yeah. But what else here? So yeah, here I've noticed the population, whites, Hispanics.
It's weird. It's weird me
blacks.
being white and hearing someone say whites. It's weird. I don't know, like not
Caucasians.
like no, like because like I don't know. I just call them white people.
White people, not whites.
Whites sounds like 1950s like backwater kind of like. Damn whites. I don't know. I mean,
never heard.
It just doesn't. It's. I just white people. That's just what I know.
So
my own race as is just white people.
So yeah, here in Houston, we have your white people, black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, small population, and then I noticed there's a noticeable population of like Indian and Middle Eastern people.
Wait, did you say small population of Asian people here?
Yeah, I feel like.
Interestingly, no. There's actually we actually have a decent population of. I mean, you probably I noticed some.
Yeah, well, I mean.
I know there's like.
I feel like compared to the rest of the.
I mean, there's definitely China, and Vietnam, all the people coming from down there in the over in Asia.
I guess I personally haven't seen like a whole lot of Asian people. Like I've seen less Asian people than I've seen white. Definitely less than black and Hispanic.
Well, I mean, when I was in like at Sci-Fair, every other girl was pretty much Asian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like every other girl was an Asian girl, or like maybe one in every 4 guys was Asian. There's just a lot of Asian people in my school.
Maybe I just haven't noticed, but
yeah, that's definitely like super diverse though.
Yeah, at some point, like I would have to like I apologize that I'm very not informed.
I don't think anyone would blame
any of this, but no, I just feel kind of bad.
Yeah, like everyone else is an expert, totally.
No. But just because the fact that we're like talking about this, like, but. Yeah, okay. So another example I can give of like the difference in demographics is in like my 2 workplaces. So in Fresno, my first job was at McDonald's. And granted, that's a really small place. We had like maybe 20-ish workers.
What, like
employees,
a worker
yes.
isn't an employee?
No, I forgot for a second. My mind thought employee meant managers. Like, no, we don't have 20 managers. We have like 10 managers. But I don't know. We had enough workers and managers that we only filled 2 pages on a schedule. But so there we had majority Hispanic. Like a majority of the workers there were Hispanic, the Spanish speaking. I feel like most of them were Mexican, but again, I could have been assuming because my favorite manager, Carla, I thought she was from Mexico, but I think she's actually from somewhere else. I literally don't remember where, but she spoke like perfectly good Spanish. So we had the majority at my McDonald's was Hispanic, and then after that, it was like a number of white people. Whites. And then we had 1 black woman, 1 Asian guy. He was really great. And we had 1 Indian guy who worked there for a while. He like one of our managers always gave him shit about his beard. Actually, I feel bad for him because like everyone yelled at him so much. I was like, dude, give him a break.
Because he had a beard.
Because he had a beard. Also, just because he was like a little bit slow. And then I don't know. Someone mentioned that he didn't even have to work because like his parents had good money. I don't know if that was them assuming.
Oh, you can't. Sometimes you just want to work.
Yeah, exactly. Like even if your parents are rich, maybe you want to make your own money.
Like if I had like immense wealth, even if it was my own wealth, I would still just
want to do something.
Even if it's like a really stupid part-time job, just like minimum hours, just
to be able
just kind of offset some of it,
right? And whatever you're not just at home doing nothing.
Yeah, like
yeah, I don't know if his parents were actually rich, or if that's just them assuming like, oh, he's Indian, so his parents must like be rich off oil. I think he actually
India
brought
isn't big on. Vivi.
Shut up! I don't know.
It's the Middle East. We bomb the Middle East and then we ask them for oil.
Well,
It's the Middle East.
I don't know which one.
Biden just bombed the Middle East and now we're asking them for more oil. It's the Middle East.
Okay.
Middle East is oil. India, I'm not sure. But I know India is a big outsourcing place for tech companies and also I think Apple now with tech company. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to go off on a big rant about that.
Yeah, you can say that for your own podcast. But yeah, he actually brought his family there one time, I think. And I think he tried to use his employee discount for his family. And a manager had to be like, you can only use your employee discount for one person. So, but yeah, so we had, one Indian dude for a while. And that's about as diverse as my workplace was. So really not that diverse.
So it was
majority
mainly
Mexican.
Hispanic. You had a white guy, like an Asian guy, and an Indian guy.
Well, we had more white people. Just like maybe half the amount of Hispanics.
Was Tent Guy?
He was white.
Did we talk about Tent Guy in the last one?
No, we didn't.
Ooh, fun. Do we want to talk about Tent Guy?
We could talk about Tent.
We could talk
about in general just.
We can talk about Tent Guy now. I mean, we're only 25 minutes in.
Okay, so I guess we could.
We can make it short, but I remember Tent Guy creepy.
He wasn't bad. He was just,
creepy.
You
can just refer to him as Tent Guy unless you want to name drop him.
No, I'm not gonna name drop
of course.
But Tent Guy is. So when I started working at McDonald's, I was very quiet.
Yeah, this was in Fresno.
And yeah, it was my first job and kind of my first time being like away from home for a bit. Like I was homeschooled. I didn't have a job for a long time. And so that was my first job that I managed to get. And so I was very shy and quiet, very timid. But Tent Guy was one of the workers there who he was very friendly and outgoing. Like he was great with like customers and everything.
He was just so friendly. I don't know what happened. He was just so friendly. But then when he told me to go in the woods with him, I couldn't say no. Okay, no, sorry.
So Tent Guy, yeah, he was just like really friendly, and he was right off the bat, he was one of my favorite people to work with because, he was friendly and he started conversations, which I very much prefer when other people start conversations because I'm not good at it. Yeah. I overthink it. I'm like, I want to talk to them, but I don't want to. So yeah, he was pretty cool and everything. But what happened is on the little worker app we had, the crew app, which is where the managers could like post the schedule for us and everything. I remember one time he asked like, hey, is the new schedule out? Friend wants to go to Pismo, and I kind of need to know right away whether I'm available or not. Pismo Beach. And I was like, what's Pismo? Because it sounded cool. So I
barely knew her.
So I sent him like a private message on the app, being like, hey, what's Pismo? Just because I was curious. And he's like, oh, text me. And then he put his number down.
Fun. Couldn't just tell you on the app.
And so I did text him. I was like, oh, this is fine. And he explained that it was like a beach where they have a butterfly grove. I mean, they don't have it on the beach. It's I don't know, Pismo. There's the beach. There's a butterfly grove.
Tent Guy wanted to go there.
He wanted to go there. He was going with a friend. And then he's like, I would totally invite you, but this was supposed to be a thing with just me and my friend. I was like, oh, no, that's fine. I wasn't expecting to be invited. And then he just kind of like mentioned how he low-key invited me to at some point go with him, and he was like, and you gotta like sleep overnight in a tent because if you haven't done that, you don't know what you're missing out on. And I literally don't think he meant any harm in it or was trying to insinuate anything, but I was like, he
said that like a tent with him, right? Like you'd share a tent.
Yeah, we'd share a tent.
Yeah,
and stay
and
overnight.
You barely know the guy, and he's like, hey, at some point, want to go sleep in a tent together on a beach where it's secluded, no one else is around, and it's dark.
And I was like, no, because we were like hardly even friends. This was like our first time texting each other. And I was like,
that's like,
it threw me off at first. I was like, what kind of person do you think I am?
Yeah.
So it threw me off, but like, he's kind of like, I don't think he meant it in any way because he's just kind of one of those people who
Yeah.
kind of like harmless, or I mean,
Still
for the most
though.
part, but it was just still like
He was just
off-putting.
so nice. And he would talk to me.
Anyways, I'm gonna share a story here. But anyways, I declined, and I was like, no, because I'd rather not like hang out with a guy by myself the first time, like just trusting that nothing's gonna go wrong. Especially like going far off to the beach in someone else's car, you know, because I wasn't driving at the time.
Yeah, his tent.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of secret
But
compartments.
I still want to go to Pismo at some point because I've literally never been there. But
We'll see tent guy there.
yeah.
And I'll walk up and be like, oh, so you're tent guy. This is my girl. No.
But oh yeah, because when I first texted him, he was like, I'm gonna be honest, I've kind of liked you for a while. I've been meaning to ask for your number.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, I have a boyfriend, but we can be friends if you want.
That's that. Yeah. Wait, is this the same guy that towards the end of your stay there was getting all like super like deep and like I'm 14 and this is emotional?
14.
No, okay, I was making a reference. But or like I'm 14 and this is deep.
Yeah, he was starting to like talk more about like personal issues and
Was this
stuff.
where y'all sat in the car, leaning back y'all seats?
No, that was someone else.
Oh, okay.
And we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
No, I never hung out with him in person. Part of me was kind of nervous to hang out with him in person.
That's funny then. He's like, I never talked to you before. I like you. Want to go sleep in a tent together?
Yeah. Also, life is hard on heroes. I feel bad actually making fun of him, but he was cool. But anyways, yeah, that was Tank Guy.
Yeah, we went way off track.
Yeah.
It was only like 5 minutes.
At some point, we can talk about like my experiences like working at McDonald's with like the ways that guys flirted or were just creepy.
The people who licked their lips was fun. And the guy that was like, "Wow, you sweep good."
Wow, your feminine skills are on point.
Yeah.
But no.
Gonna coop you up in my kitchen if you know what I mean.
All of this coming from someone who like up until I was 22 had never like really experienced guys being interested in me because I was homeschooled.
Yeah.
So I was like,
everyone's gangster, so you're dating in high school, but you're homeschooled. I was making an incest joke, but I guess you can I guess you can technically. I was like as if.
That's not what I got from it.
Yeah, I it was a bad presentation of it.
Yeah.
Where were we even at?
We were talking about the demographic.
Yeah, demographic.
So that's how the demographic was at my McDonald's: Hispanics, whites, and then one of everything else. Oh yeah, there was the Armenian lady.
Also, oh yeah. So you feel like a minority now.
No, hold on. So
damn, we're still on the demographic.
Yes, because I'm going to explain the demographic here at Walmart where I work. So just to give an example of like the differences. So here at my Walmart where I'm working, the demographic is, I feel like it's half and half. I feel like it's equal parts Hispanic to Black people. I feel like there's a good amount of both of them. And then there's a maybe slightly smaller amount of white people. And then we have a good share of Indian and Middle Eastern people. I think more Middle Eastern, and maybe I think there's one Indian lady. And then we have a couple of Asians, and there's this other lady. I don't know where she's from. She's kind of intimidating, so I'm thinking she's maybe Russian or something. She's pretty intimidating.
Sort of on topic. That's what I was gonna mention earlier when I was talking. That's why I was going on about the Middle East earlier and the refugees. That's why. I remember now. I was at Kroger, which is it's like a step up. It's like a step up from the. So there's like Walmart of like classes of just like trashy to like kind of pristine. Like there's Walmart, then there's like neighborhood Walmart, and there's Kroger. Mm-hmm. And Kroger is like that kind of midpoint or like kind of lower midpoint of just like you're not a Walmart person. But I was at Kroger, and there was this family, this Middle Eastern family, and they're wearing their like traditional clothing and stuff, and it was just they were just minding their own business. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, I'm the progressive little I don't even know how old I was, but I'm like where my parents, they're my dad is a boomer, my mom's Gen X, so my dad's in his 50s, my mom's about to hit, I think she just hit no, she's about to hit. Dang, is she 50? I think so. Um, but so they grew up in that era of just super conservative,
Yeah.
down here in Texas, just like, oh, keep, go back to your country kind of
Yeah.
mentality. And so my mom was like really nervous,
Oh,
thinking
literally,
that
my mom would get nervous whenever we were around Middle Eastern people. I'm like, Mom, they're not gonna bomb
blow
the
us
place.
up.
Like,
and
chill
and so
out.
it was just they like two kids. It was a husband, the wife, and then just like a few kids. And they were just vibing out. Just
Yeah.
they had their cart. They were grabbing stuff, just looking
Just
around.
a
They
normal
they
family.
just got here. It looked like.
Yeah.
It looked like they just got off the plane from wherever in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so so they're just hanging out in the aisles, and I'm just like, oh my god, wow, that's so cool. And my mom is like, no, don't get near them. Don't talk to them.
Oh my god.
Don't make eye contact. And I was just like, I kind of want to say hi to them.
Yeah, like be friendly.
Like, kind of want to be like, hey. And mom is like, you better not.
Oh my
And I'm like, Mom, they're not gonna blow me up. They're not gonna blow up the place they're shopping at.
This white boy said hi to us.
They're not gonna go shopping just to be like, we're done here, I guess.
Yes,
Like,
they don't have my.
they totally don't have they totally didn't get here in a car and are trying to get groceries for
Yeah.
home.
And, like, the minute they see something that they want is missing from.
I feel like they're, if they did have any ill content, they weren't gonna
They
go
can
shopping
pretend we're
first.
shopping first.
Pretend they're shopping, get a
So
card.
no one suspects anything.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
funny.
yeah, and so I was just like, I almost wanted to just go say hi just to piss off my mom, but she was very adamant that I do not go say hi to the Middle Easterns.
Oh, it's funny because one time when I was in community college, I went to the library there, or like the shop / library, because I needed to buy my
Book fair.
art supplies. I just went in there myself.
Was it a Scholastics book fair?
No.
That's it. Elementary school thing.
Yes, I remember that actually.
American school system would understand.
Okay, Pat. So, anyways, I went to buy my art supplies. I had this like big portfolio and stuff. And when I was in line, there was this guy behind me. Pretty sure he was Middle Eastern. And I one of the problems that I have with guys is that I don't like coming off unfriendly. So if I catch someone's eye, I'll like, give a small smile before or while looking, like as I'm looking away. I don't like keep eye contact,
That won't
but like
cause confusion.
no, I just like generally never liked being like unfriendly towards people. So if I see someone and like we make eye contact for a second, like I'll smile and like look away. I did that, and there's a guy like he did like a little double take, and I was like, oh shit. And then he was behind me in line, and then he started asking me about like my portfolio, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking a drawing class. And he told me about how his cousin is an artist. He showed me some of his drawings, and I was like, oh yeah, me too. And I didn't have any good examples on my phone, but he's like, he was like, he asked me, if I could draw him, and like halfway through, I was like, is he flirting with me?
Is he flirting?
Is he flirting? Because like I don't know. I didn't go to high school, so I wasn't used to like knowing off the bat whether a guy's like flirting or
that's
not.
That's definitely flirting. If he's
By the end of it, I knew he was flirting because he's like, so when are you gonna draw me? Or like and I was like, because I could draw you. I was like,
but that's also like something you don't ask an artist is, can you draw me? It's like, but do you think I like. Artist is such a broad term that you can't just assume they can do something like, hey, you're an artist, right? Yeah, draw me. It's like, I do
That's
architecture drawing, or like I do cartoons.
Yeah, I sculpt. I don't draw people.
Yeah, and so just saying draw me, then you have to explain. Well, yeah, I do art and I can draw people, but not you.
Yeah, but I just like I didn't know how to respond. So I was like, yeah, I could draw you, and it was like slightly awkward. But then after like a couple moments of silence, he's like, so how am I gonna get my drawing from you? That's when I realized he was flirting. I was like, he wants my number.
Oh God, he's gonna get it over SMS. I'm just gonna get a crispy photo.
And I just did not know how to react. I was like, I don't know.
You really hit him with
good question.
I don't know. Good question, man.
I think I literally just like laughed and like turned back and to like wait for my turn. And then I paid for my stuff, and I felt bad because he was kind of cute. Like I could have kept talking to him, but I didn't know how to go about that. So I kind of just started like leaving, and I noticed he was like right after me. So as he was like paying, he kind of like looked over while I was leaving. I was like, "Sorry, dude, I don't know how to continue this
Like,
conversation."
how old were you at this point?
I was in community college.
So you were like 20?
No,
19?
I was like 19, I
19?
think.
How old was he, if you know?
I don't know. I think he was around my age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, that was funny. And then I got back in the car.
That's so funny.
I remember telling my sister about it, but I chose not to tell my mom because I knew she would be like, "Oh my God, there was a Middle Eastern guy flirting with you. Be careful."
He's gonna blow you up.
But yeah. So that's on demographic, especially in Walmart. Like the last thing I would say is one thing that I'm happy to see here in Houston is that there's a higher population of Black people, and especially in workplaces, I noticed there's like a lot more Black people.
Yeah,
like in my Walmart, there's a big majority of them, and I notice whenever we go like to get food, there'll be like at least one or two Black people working there.
Yeah. Also, one thing, and so you said at your Walmart there's a big majority of Hispanic workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like here, like my McDonald's, my local McDonald's, when I took you to get that milkshake, like they're not all. It seems like it's a good balance. Like there's your your typical white girl there. There's your then there's your like older white guy. You got then you have like a Black guy working there, an Asian someone working there. Like it just it seems balanced. I don't know. Like especially like at like you said Walmart. Like even at the Supercenter Walmart, just a good balance.
Yeah, there's a good balance of a lot of people. Like even though the majority are like Hispanics and Blacks, there's still like a good number of other like minorities there.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem forced. It doesn't seem like it's not like an even number of every race. It's
just like the demographic here feeds into that in a good way. But yeah, that's one thing like that I was like happy to see, because in Fresno I rarely saw Black people in workplaces. I don't know if it's just harder, like if people aren't hiring them very much. I know one of a friend of mine at my work, she's Black, and I remember her mentioning that one of the managers had like literally actually said something about how they don't hire Black people. Damn. And another manager, she like got really upset with this like Black couple one time and like said something kind of offensive to them.
And you said this was Fresno, right?
Yeah. So plus I think Fresno is known for being a little bit also like a little bit conservative. I think we have so many churches there, but yeah, literally hardly saw Black people in workplaces. At most maybe like one or two at a Walmart. I feel like maybe it's hard for Black people to have those opportunities there, whereas here I feel like it's a lot more available. Like my Walmart is hiring all the time, and a good half of those people they hire are Black. So I'm just like kind of happy to see that there's more like diversity here. Even though we're Texas,
red state, and we're also South, it's not.
But speaking of that,
I mean Houston itself is more liberal, but
right,
it's still Texas.
Yeah, but no, like speaking of that, it is still Texas. So then my next point is I did for the first time feel like a minority here when I came to Texas. So I can remember two distinct times. The first one was like literally my first night here. Remember I got here, that lady was kind of...
we talked about her.
We talked about that. So I stayed here with your family, and your mom and sister were like, has she eaten? Is she hungry? Let's take her to Whataburger. I was okay.
Wait, was that first day?
Yeah, that was like my first night here.
Yeah, we took you to Whataburger at like 11 or something.
Yeah, so we went over there.
That's like the most Texas thing we can do, besides taking you to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Take her to Whataburger. You hungry?
So we went to Whataburger, and I didn't feel it so much then, actually, but... Well, no, I did. Okay, so the thing is, we got to Whataburger, and I don't know what was going on. I think there was a school game or something, because there were a ton of kids from like some school there. They were wearing their like sports uniforms.
I think it was Cy Falls.
Probably. But there was just like, big groups of families and like friends sitting down with their like, uniforms and everything. And I felt out of place, first of all, because I don't like being around teenagers. It makes me feel out of place. I've never liked being around teenagers. And then second of all, it was just like so many people who...
I'm 19.
I know, but like... just also, everyone looked the same.
That's the same thing of like coming from Yeah, because like when you don't see a lot of, well, because they're white people, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like because they all look the same as someone who doesn't have a big white population in their.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
No,
like.
but like not even like white people like in.
Oh wait, no, oh no, I know what you mean. I'm sorry.
They
Yeah.
No, it's because like I mean I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry. This
yeah.
is like offensive to anyone.
No,
Like even if you're white, I'm sorry.
No, me
But
as a
they
white
were.
person. No, because remember near Town Lake, that area, all the white people there look exactly the same. They're cookie cutter. Even as a white person myself, I can't tell the difference between two of them.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, I feel like it's a very Texas look. Everyone had the same shade of brown hair. Like, it's a pretty shade of brown hair.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't. I remember when we were like calling, I was like, damn, he has really nice hair. Like, it's not like super dark or super light. Everyone there like had like a lighter shade than yours though. But like, yeah, everyone there, white skin, light brown hair, and they all looked white, and I was like, oh my god, I am the only Hispanic person here. I feel unsafe.
Unsafe.
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't feel unsafe, but I was just like, there are a lot of white people here.
I'm not used to this.
I'm not used to this. I do not like that I am not special. No, just kidding. I remember that happened again when we went with Caitlin to Whataburger, and there was just like, I feel like it was a Sunday, and maybe it was like a family's coming.
Do black people go to Whataburger?
I mean, there's a couple of black workers there. You know what? I don't think I've really seen black people eating there. Maybe that's why each time I go to Whataburger, it's like a little bit off-putting because I feel like
why is there only white people at Whataburger?
I feel like only white people eat there, and like so each time I'm like a little like slightly uncomfortable because I'm not used to like having so many white people in one room and being like the only, I guess minority. I remember when we went with Caitlin and her brother, like, y'all are white too, so
yeah,
I was like, I felt like I was the only, I feel like I was the only Hispanic there.
Yeah,
and
so you went from majority in Fresno to minority in Houston.
Right, and I remember there was like this, family, it looks like they just got back from church or something, they were like all dressed up and everything, and there was like this one little girl, and she like, was looking at me. I was like, she doesn't like me because I'm Mexican. It was just the way she looked at me.
Who's that dark white person, mommy?
Who's that dark white person?
She
doesn't look like the rest of us.
She's different. Don't talk to her.
Don't talk to her. No. But yeah, Whataburger is one place that
just makes white people sound bad. No. Just joking.
No, but Whataburger is one place where I always feel like no one's gonna for the first time.
Yeah, no one's gonna discriminate against you
there.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, this is so odd.
Off.
Yeah, because I don't remember ever really feeling like a minority in Fresno or California in general. Yeah, probably if anything, maybe when I was like very small and I only spoke Spanish, but I don't remember.
And also, and weirdly though, because there is a big Hispanic population here.
Yeah, there is, but like when you go to Whataburger, it's not there. Mm-hmm. That's not where they go.
It's also not a lot of places. Sometimes I feel like mm-hmm. I feel like Walmart is the most diverse, mm-hmm. and I feel like outside of Walmart, it's certain areas, like you said, Whataburger is gonna just be only just like at least what we've seen is just white people.
What I've seen, like just white people.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I know that I've seen a lot more like at Target, like weirdly at Target, there's just no guys at Target.
I never noticed.
There's just no guys. It's always girls.
No guys.
It's always girls. It's like just weird places you're gonna find more
of like
kind of more of just group. One type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
type of thing.
Whatever you got going on.
But yeah, so that's Whataburger. Another place that made me feel even more like a minority was your dad's side of the family when we had the Christmas party. So like Christmas Eve, right? We had hold on.
Christmas Day?
It was Christmas Day, but I'm just saying Christmas. If you would let me speak.
Oh.
Christmas Eve, we had the Christmas party with your mom's side of the family. It was like very small, mm-hmm. like
my cousin,
less than 10 people or mm-hmm. 10 people.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was fun and everything. The next day,
and that was all just white people too.
Yeah, that was all just white people too, but it didn't feel off-putting or anything. I guess because there were less people.
There were Houston white people.
Yeah,
there was less people, and there were Houston white people.
Yeah, and there was a smaller amount, so I could take them in like one at a time, get to know them a little bit, and it felt comfortable and everything. Since I came with you and your family, I at least knew half the white people there, so it didn't feel.
But then that one time, remember my aunt put on that pastor, and she got upset when no one listened.
Yeah, your poor aunt. But yeah, Christmas Day. when we went to your dad's side of the family for their Christmas
Oh
party.
boy, I'll give a little bit of context to that. So my mom's side of the family is really small compared to my dad's side. My mom has her sister, her brother who lives in California, and then, uh, yeah, but then my aunt, my mom's sister, my aunt, she has two sons, and one of them, who's my cousin, had a condo there, and then his girlfriend. So it's super small.
Yeah, that's all the people.
And then my dad's side.
Oh, and also Anna and her mom were there. So
They're
we
family
had
friends though.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and
that made it more diverse.
Two Vietnamese people there. Yeah. But then my dad's side. So he was one of 10 kids. What?
Sorry. Also, another thing that made it like less. I didn't feel like a minority as much is that your cousin's girlfriend. She literally reminded me of a Californian because she seemed like
she's
like
very
kind of typical Instagrammer, which I associate Instagram with California.
She's fun. I like her.
Fun. She felt very like not off-putting or like I felt very comfortable there. So.
She's always very fun to talk to. But my dad's side of the family. So he's one of 10 kids, and all of those kids had like a few kids, and now those kids are having kids. And so there's just like...
It's like a big Mexican family, but they're white.
Yeah, it's a Mexican... I've actually explained it to someone like that before. I said it's like a Mexican family, but we're all white.
Yeah.
Everyone there knows each other and knows each other's kids as kids.
It's like the white. No condoms. If God wants us to have a child, we will have it.
Yeah, it's the whole... because they're very... Everyone there is like Catholic, very Christian, very white. Yeah. But... And so, and then I'm, one of 3 kids. So, and so there's just so many people there.
Yeah, no, we went there. I felt like there were like 100 or
there must have been
people.
like 50 plus people. There's a lot.
There was a lot of people. So, yeah, and it was like out enough, like way out there.
Yeah, and when we have family gatherings for especially Christmas, we used to do it. We still do it Easter, but we've not been doing Easter a lot as we used to, because my grandparents, because this was up in Conroe, all of my dad's side lives up near like Conroe area, more kind of countryside stuff. None of them are here in Houston really, and I think just a few. Like one of my dad's sisters is like 10 minutes away. Yeah. That's it. And so when we have a family gathering, all of them are there. It's not Johnny couldn't make it. It's no, Johnny's here. It's like he is here. He can't not be here. Yeah. And so it's just whenever for Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. So we like drove an hour away, right? And we get to this place, and as soon as we enter, everyone that I'm greeting, same brown hair. I mean, there were like a little bit, different
some blonde
here and there,
people, but it's
some
just
blonde
pretty
hair,
much
some light.
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that's one thing I've noticed. Like, I feel like people in Texas have like a unique shade of brown hair that I actually really like. Like Heidi, it's kind of like her like very light brown hair, and it's really nice. I don't see that like natural hair color much in California or anything.
Yeah, Heidi being my sister.
Yeah. But anyway, so we got there, and you were introducing me to everyone, and just there were a lot of people in their room, even more people outside. But I was just like right off the bat, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many white people. I was like, yeah, there's just so many white people, and I was quite literally the only Hispanic person. I was the only person who was not white.
Yeah, well, okay, there's one person who wasn't white. It's this, I don't know where she's from. She's Asian. Just one. Just one lady who's Asian that was there.
Was she there?
I think.
I don't remember meeting.
I don't know if you met her. She was there. I know she was there. She was you went to the funeral or no, the funeral, right? Of
I didn't go to any funeral.
Ooh, wait. Oh, you were working, right? Wait.
I don't think I was even here.
No, you were here. You were here when the funeral for my dad's
sister's
I was working. Husband.
Yeah,
you were. Yeah, you were working. Okay, I was gonna be like, you met them there. I was like, wait, no, you weren't there. Okay.
But yeah, so that was one of the moments like where even more than Whataburger, because there were just so many people there, I very much felt like a minority, and I was like, I hope no one's judging me, which I think is kind of silly. They probably weren't at all like thinking anything of it, but just for me, because I'm just so not used to being like the only person of my race in a place. It was like very off-putting.
It's just you feel like everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, you do. You feel like you don't belong there, and like everyone must think you're kind of weird or something. Like, why is he dating a Mexican? But yeah, so
Yeah, because I was introducing you to everyone because like when someone walks in the door, even though there's like, gee, I want to say 60 plus.
Mm-hmm.
When even though there's a ton of people there, you walk in, everyone wants to say hi to you because we know each other. Like, even though I'd never get to see my family since they're up in Conroe on my dad's side, all of them, I still kind of recognize them. I don't know all their names. They all know my name, but I don't really know most of their names. There's a few people that I just know who they are.
Yeah.
But you walk through the door, and everyone who walks by the door sees you and goes, "Oh, hey, hey!" So you say hi 60 plus times. And every single time I was like, "Here's Vivi, my girlfriend," and look at her, she's not white.
Yeah. And like for context, everyone was actually really, really friendly, and I didn't feel like uncomfortable with like any of the interactions themselves.
They were super inclusive.
Yeah, it was literally just like when I first got there, I was like, "Oh, okay, a lot of white people."
Yeah, not one of them were like, "Wait, she's what race?" Or like they weren't just they didn't
make any comments.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything bad.
None of them are like
Yeah, it was very comfortable and everything. I guess I felt more comfortable at the other party just because there were like less people, so I could like talk to them more a bit. But yeah, it was still a very nice party and everything. And then also in general, I'm quite uncomfortable around big crowds of people, so that's part of what added to it. But yeah, thank you, Texas, for for the first time allowing me to see what it's like to actually feel like a minority. I feel like that's what it must feel like for a lot of blacks in Fresno or like places like my area where there like really aren't a whole lot of like
and not so much of a minority as of like you feel oppressed, but more of just you feel out of place.
Yeah, out of place.
Yeah,
There's not many.
It's not the oppression; it's the out of placeness. It's just like black people in Fresno might just feel like, oh, everyone's looking at me.
Everyone's white. Everyone's Hispanic. Yeah.
And then for you here, it's like. Not everywhere, because of course, there's a lot of Hispanic
but like
here,
just in a couple places, I've been like, oh, everyone here is white, and I am not white. I feel like I don't belong.
Yeah, but then in reality, no one's looking at you, but it just feels like everyone's eyes are on you.
Right. No, it's funny. I remember when I was first telling my coworkers that I was going to be moving to Texas, one of them, the Asian guy, he was like, you gotta be careful because there's a lot of like racist people there, and he mentioned how his brothers or cousins have been here before or something, and how like people would like stare at them. Thankfully, I haven't really experienced that. I haven't experienced anyone.
People do that.
Maybe it was some time ago, or like just a certain place they were.
I mean, didn't you say he said people stared at him? Maybe they were just like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna like try to assume what like him or his like family's experience was.
Did he say Texas or Houston?
I think he said Texas, so it could have been
it could have just been some backwater town.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like assume because maybe they did genuinely experience that, and like we wouldn't know that.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna doubt that there's racist people in Texas. I mean, this is still Texas.
Yeah.
But Houston,
I'm just
Houston's more progressive and liberal, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just relieved that like I haven't really experienced any racism towards myself or anything, so that's good.
And of course me neither, because I'm white.
Yeah.
Me neither. I want to be included too. I'm special. Special.
But yeah, so that's on demographics.
And also feeling. Oh yeah, so that's on demographics.
Minorities. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, we have. I mean, it's been like.
Gee.
Almost an hour.
Because I
feel like the demographic part was a mess because I didn't know how to like. I was all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, we can still talk about food. I mean, yeah, let's talk about food.
Okay.
Go for it.
Food. Let's see. I have a little list here of. Okay, so.
What was that?
I don't know where to start. There's so much food. So here in Texas, I'm definitely not at all disappointed by the food here. I've had Freddy's, pretty darn good.
Oh, I love Freddy's.
Went with you and your family to get.
Freddy's isn't Houston food. It's from up north, but it's just down here.
Yeah, but I've never had that in Fresno or California, so that's why Whataburger is.
Whataburger is decent. I don't care.
Actually, the last
it's
time I went to
decent.
Whataburger, the burger wasn't all that great.
Everyone keeps saying, "Oh my God, Whataburger! It's so good. It's like the best Texas food." Okay, it's
Yeah, I
good,
remember you
but
and
like
Kaylin being like, "Yeah, it's a bit overrated."
it's a bit overrated. If you,
Actually,
I mean, some people do just love that place. Like that's all they want. But like,
yeah,
I've had it a few times, quite a few times. It's all right. I'll have it
yeah, I think it's
again.
okay. Like my
I'll
last
have it
burger
again.
was like not even really that juicy. I didn't finish it. The other day, one of my coworkers, Evan, was asking me. He's like, "Since you're from California, what do you think is better, Whataburger or In-N-Out?" Now, be careful about your answer. And I was like, In-N-Out, because I went to Whataburger the other day and it was just all right. And In-N-Out is also a bit overrated.
We have one down. We have one up near Willowbrook. I've never
Oh,
been.
really? Yeah,
Remember?
that'd be interesting. No, I don't remember, but yeah, that's also a bit overrated. A lot of people in California will mention that too. I hate their fries so much; they're not good at all.
Where and now?
Yeah,
I mean, Whataburger fries aren't that great either. I mean,
I think they're not bad.
okay,
They're like McDonald's
Whataburger
fries, just a teensy bit
Whataburger
better,
fries are
maybe.
better than Walmart fries. Current
Walmart fries.
Or, sorry, McDonald's fries. Walmart fries. McDonald's fries. Sorry. I don't know. I just don't like McDonald's fries anymore. They're not.
I think they're good when they're fresh. But yeah, so there's Whataburger, decent place. Freddy's pretty darn good. I remember when I first got them.
The seasoning is the best, and Freddy's.
Yeah. I mean, I like light seasoning. The first time I had their fries, I was like, "Ooh, these are really good." But every time after that, I was like, "Oh, I kind of want some thicker fries or less seasoning." But it's still pretty good. I remember when I first had the burger. You know how they're like. They have that stuff around the burger.
The crust.
The crust,
the
yeah.
meat crust.
I was like, that's weird. And I was like taking some of it off.
No,
like, no, you gotta eat it. It's part of the experience.
It's a part. You gotta eat the meat crust. It's there for a reason. They want to keep it there. If it wasn't, it just adds to the taste.
So I did, and it is actually really darn good. I love their custard. That's really good.
Custard's really good.
So Whataburger, Freddy's. What else? We went to Chewy's, and that was pretty good. Except
Chewy's is kind of Tex-Mex a little bit.
Yeah, brisket. I was like, I came here. I was like, what's brisket? Because I know I had heard of it, but I've never really had brisket.
Are you talking about the Bucky's brisket sandwich?
Yeah,
I love. It's amazing. Okay, I hate barbecue sauce, but the barbecue sauce on there is so good.
See, I don't like barbecue sauce at all. Oh, that's one thing I don't like about like Texas food is that I feel like a lot of people put barbecue sauce over everything.
I mean, I don't like barbecue sauce either, but Bucky's brisket, ooh, so good.
So we went to Bucky's. I remember I was able to make my order of my sandwich. And the thing is, I asked for no sauce, but they still put sauce. So it was just
they know better. Because they know better.
Like, you don't want sauce? No, you want sauce. And then the bread was also kind of sweet. If you know about me, you know I don't like savory and sweet foods. I don't like barbecue sauce.
I mean, typically,
I
don't mind your opinion on foods, but when you tell me you don't like the Bucky's brisket,
it wasn't bad. The meat itself was good, but I don't like the sauce.
But you have to like it.
Okay, hold on. I have a lot of food notes, and you keep interrupting.
No.
But yeah, the brisket was okay. I would like to try more brisket, but yeah. Speaking of barbecue, so remember when we had the first party on Christmas Eve with your mom's side of the family? They ordered barbecue.
No, they didn't. We had to bring all our. Wait, whose side? My mom's side?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said my dad's side because yeah,
No.
We had to bring her. It was a potluck.
Yeah, no, for your mom's side of the family. At your cousin's condo, they ordered food for catering, and yeah, it was good. I liked the meat and everything, but the one thing that I didn't like, the beans. So I put a spoonful of beans on my plate and then sat down, and I put a spoonful in my mouth, and it was sweet. The beans were sweet, and I hated that. I don't like sweet beans. Beans are meant to be sweet.
I don't mind sweet food.
I don't think literally anyone else minded it. I just didn't like sweet beans.
I liked it.
And it was like, I really didn't like it. I felt like I wanted to throw up, but obviously I couldn't, and I also didn't want to be rude or gross, so I had to like force myself to swallow it, and I did not enjoy that. I was like, ugh. But I did it, and then I didn't have any more beans. But yeah, that's been my experience with that's the extent of Texas food that I don't
with
like.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it's just
beans.
stuff that has barbecue or sweet beans.
Yeah, but we also have I don't know, like, you know.
We all have good food places. You know, Freddy's, James Coney Island was pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, I'm not sure where they're from, but James Coney Island, yeah. They I kind of I don't know if I can Google that real quick, but yeah, James Coney Island. That is one of the
That was good.
best
I had their
hot dog
Chicago dog,
places
and it was
that
really good.
I've had. Um, yeah, they good pricing too, and it was just so the bread.
Yeah.
Ooh, talk about the bread.
The bread was pretty good. But yeah, that was one good place. I'm gonna go back there. In Fresno or California, we have Wiener Schnitzel. Do you guys have that here?
I wouldn't know.
I haven't seen one here, but I mean, I figure y'all do, but I haven't seen one. And it's I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's, you know, it's a hot dog place. Did you find it?
Let me see. Oh, I think it's from Houston.
Oh, nice.
Wait, original Coney Island hot dog. Wait, no.
Well, while you're looking that up, I'll continue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Also, Chewy's. Chewy's is great. You took me there for a date. One of like our first weeks here, and dude, the best part of Chewy's, like hands down, my favorite is the red salsa that they give you while you're waiting, while you're reading the menu. I love the salsa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean that, but yeah, the headquarters is in Houston, Texas. Is it Houston? Yeah. Two Greek immigrants opened it. The original James Coney Island restaurant was one of the first major hot dog vendors in Houston.
Nice.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's that's technically Houston food, Texas food.
Yeah.
Kind of. I thought it was New York. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen one of those in California. Also, never seen a Fuddruckers.
Oh yeah,
That was
Fuddruckers
interesting.
good.
Yeah.
Fuddruckers is good.
But back to Chewy's.
Chewy's, I
like
love Chewy's.
Yeah, they were really good. They have like such a small menu, but it's
Such
good.
oh my god, the
I
red
love
sauce
the way
is so
I've
good.
never ordered the fajitas, but you do each time, and I love the way they bring out like it looks like a whole display of like food. You know, your toppings and everything are in this little like molcajete type thing.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
It's that like stone thing with the, you know, the bowl that we put our salsa in.
Yeah.
Has like 4 little pegs.
Oh, but it's just bigger.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks really good. I just love the red salsa.
The red salsa is so good,
Yeah.
but like
Last time I literally like drank the rest of
But
it,
since I'm white, I sometimes have too much in my tongue. My tongue isn't very happy.
which I'm happy about because then I can have the rest. So I'm good with that. But yeah,
You drink it how Caitlin drinks the queso at what was it, Chewy's? Yeah, Chewy's the same. Yeah, she was saying it when she used. Was it at Chewy's or some other place that she said you drank the queso?
I don't know. I think she said Chewy's, but yeah. Anyways, so I really like the food there. And then okay, so my favorite place so far in Houston, which is good. It's here because it kind of makes up for one place in California that I really miss. My favorite place is Freebirds.
Is it? Wait, Freebirds is your favorite?
Yes, it's so good.
I didn't know it was your favorite.
It's my favorite.
Okay, cool. Freebirds isn't my favorite, but I love Freebirds.
I love it because I love burritos, and they're actually really good burritos.
They are good burritos, and so Freebirds, the first location, I'm pretty sure it was opened in College Station. Yeah, it was College Station. So it is from Texas. It's Houston, and so Freebirds is so good. It's like, you know, it's where you line up and you go down the line and they ask you what you want, and then it's just
they make the burrito for you.
Yeah, it's like like Chipotle or like Subway, but just for burritos.
Yeah,
but like
so
actually good.
Yeah, I always get Spanish rice, beef, and then I like putting obviously salsa and everything and corn, and I like putting the tortilla chips in mine. It comes out just a little bit crunchy. Oh, it's so good.
They're great. And then yeah, Kate, because I didn't know about Freddy's, which is one of my absolute favorite places to get like a burger, fries, and whatever.
Yeah, I think it's funny, like Caitlin. Okay, so she first took me there one day. I think you were working and I was off. I was like, hey, you want to hang out? And so we were hanging out, and then she was like, hey, you want to go get some burritos at Freddy's? Like, yes, I've been.
No, not
Freddy's.
Burger at Freddy's. Or Freebird? Are you talking about Freebirds or Freddy's?
Freebirds.
Oh, well, I'm talking about Freddy's.
Why
Because I thought you were gonna go off of that because I said that Caitlin introduced me to Freddy's.
Oh, I thought you said she introduced you to Freebirds.
No, so I may have.
She did.
No, but she did. But I may have said I pretty
Anyways,
sure.
Anyways, you were trying to say.
So,
you're gonna lead the conversation.
So Caitlin, introduced me to my two of my favorite places now. uh, Freddy's, because I never went to Freddy's. It was just that place that I was like, okay, whatever. Take me to McDonald's or like Chick-fil-A when I was like go out with my mom to the store or whatever, or Burger King. I love Burger King. Um, and then Caitlin one day was like, "Oh, have you ever been to Freddy's?" And this was like when I first started getting to know her really well. I was like, "No," and she's like, You should try it." And I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Wanna go?" Yeah, it was so good. And then she introduced me to Freebird. Well, she was mentioning Freebirds, and I never really thought I would like burritos because
Yeah.
who in my family is gonna make a burrito? Um, and so one day Caitlin was like, "Want to go to Freebirds?" Recently.
Well, what happened was, first me and her were hanging out, and I had been craving a burrito for like a while.
Oh yeah.
And she mentioned Freebirds. I was like, yeah, let's go there. So we did, and it was so good.
Oh yeah.
And I remember texting
about
you like,
it.
hey, have you gone to Freebirds? Like, I don't think so. I was like, you should definitely go. It's so good. So after that, me, you, and Caitlin, we all went to Freebirds.
Yeah.
And since then we've been like going so many times.
It's so good.
Like, I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It it's my favorite place here. Whereas, like, my last 2 months in Fresno, I found this new place and it was so good. Butterfish.
I do not know if that is.
Yeah, you don't know because it's not here.
Yep.
Butterfish, it's a poke bowl place, so it's like sushi bowls. And it was so good.
Pokemon Bowl?
It was so good. I would always get like a sushi bowl with white rice, salmon, spicy tuna, little fish eggs, seaweed salad, wonton chips. It would, spicy mayo. I'm gonna like literally try to like remake that myself at some point. But yeah, that was my favorite place there, and it's one of the things I miss most about Fresno. Is literally just that place. I don't think there's one near here for like an hour.
What I miss most about Fresno is flying. Just flying there.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed flying there and back.
But yeah, so Butterfish was my favorite place
And I
there.
miss the homeless people that ask me for lighters. I miss
Yeah.
them too.
Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, one more thing about Freddy's, which I would love to do a podcast with Caitlin sometime about. I think, yeah, because I don't know if we mentioned in the three-parter sci-fair little trilogy we put together for the podcast, which is the first 3 episodes of this podcast, which I would still recommend the first episode, except the audio is cracked. Very disappointed in that audio, but I'm not sure if we mentioned Harold. You know Harold, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, our pet slug,
Yeah.
our child, our love child. Because we if I didn't mention Harold, I would love to do a podcast with Caitlin just talking about Harold and raising Harold. Because we took Harold to Freddy's one day. This was whenever she came down here, and we were exchanging Harold for the yeah, this is when I had him for the summer or something, and she came down to pick him up for the school year, and we took him to Freddy's. And so we just had this kind of terrarium set up, and we put him like in his own chair and everything. And this family came in, and they were like real loud, and they're like that really Yahoo family. And they came over, and they're like, "What do you got in there?" And we're like, "We got a slug." And they're like, "Yo, can we see it?" And we're like, "Yeah." And so we had him like, we showed them the slug. They were all hyped. And it was the same energy as when I went to a PetSmart. I took Harold to a PetSmart in a little plastic cup, and the one of the employees there thought he was so cool, and she wanted to like hold him and touch him and pet him.
Yeah.
And then I took Harold to Kroger. But yeah, I'd love to do a podcast about Harold. He died. He lived for 2 years. Well, since I got him when I picked him up off my in my living room when he infiltrated my house. Since getting him, I don't know how old he was up till that point, but he lived for 2 years. He died in 2018, I want to say.
2019.
19? Yeah.
Or was it last year, 2020?
No, it was not 2020. Gee, I don't know. 2020 didn't exist. But yeah, I'd love to do one about Harold. That was very off topic. But anything else about food? What do you got on your list?
Yeah, Butterfish, my favorite place in California. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Damn. But yeah, so we got some good foods down here. Like, the good thing about food down here isn't that it's, well, in my opinion, or just because I haven't really been outside of Houston much. Really, I've just gone back and forth between like Houston and Conroe just because my dad's family's up there, and I've been to Austin and Dallas, but like Dallas was when I was really little. or no, not Dallas, San Antonio. Sorry, San Antonio when I was much younger, and then we went up to Austin for a day, which I didn't even really get to experience too much down there anyway, or up there. So really, I've just been in Houston, and one of my favorite thing about food down here in Houston is that not that it's like Texas food, but that it's food that's originated from Houston or is just primarily here. And it tastes really good.
Yeah.
And that it's just, like College Station was Freebirds. We got James Coney Island, some of the best hot dogs, Houston. And, you just got these places that are just from here and they're just really good food. And they don't scream, they don't scream Texas. Like hot dogs don't scream Texas, but it's food from here that I really like.
Yeah.
So, it's not so much that you're going to come down here and expect to find your local fast food restaurant selling steaks and with barbecue sauce because it's Texas. It's more of just like a burrito place. Oh, it's from College Station. Cool, tastes great. But yeah, that was really good. It's an hour and it's the longest podcast done. I mean, it's definitely worth it because we talked about a lot of good topics. We went through the demographic changes, you feeling like a minority for 10 minutes, and then food.
Yeah.
That was good though.
Yeah.
It was a very good topic to explore, especially since you lived through it down there in Fresno, and then just you experienced the whole transition.
Oh, one thing I have to try here. Okay, in California, in Fresno, my dad will very often take me to get street tacos, or we'll get that for our family. And I haven't had a street taco in Texas yet.
Apparently, they're really good.
They're so good. They do not compare to. If you haven't had street tacos, you haven't had tacos.
Never had street tacos.
Yeah, so you haven't had tacos.
I mean, my tacos are Taco Bell, but I have not been to Taco Bell in years because I just
definitely not the same, completely different. I do like Taco Bell sometimes, food. But yeah, Taco Bell's good in its own way. But street tacos they're so good.
We'll go to street tacos sometime.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
Yeah, we gotta
go to some sketchy little Mexican.
No, we gotta go downtown for street tacos.
Yes. Downtown
Houston is where you get. I even though I've never had one, I know that's where you're gonna go for street tacos. But there's some good food, and we gotta try out the street tacos. Which I don't know. I never really thought about street tacos.
They're really good.
Freebirds has tacos. What if we just get Freebirds tacos and just say, "Wow, tacos, great," and then just
it has to
stop.
be in a taco truck or a taco place where they they put the oil and they give you your 2 corn tortillas.
And they're not allowed to have a food handler's permit. It's not a street taco if they have the required permits.
Yeah, the only reason my dad had one, or we had, no, I don't think he even had one. I think me and my mom were the only ones who actually finished the course, and it was only because my mom insisted on it in case someone came and was like, "Hey, you got a permit?"
The one time I went down to Trader's Village, the flea market, which you've never been to yet. We need to take you down there. Too, I was trying to open a Hot Pocket stand, and trying to figure out the legality behind that. Am I allowed to sell Hot Pockets at a food stand? I was asking vendors down at the flea market, hey, what's how do you get started? This and that. What are the required permits? What are the this and that? And I don't think a lot of them had what they needed because it was just me and my dad, and we were just asking very invasive questions about their business. And so it looked like he was kind of undercover, from the city.
Yeah.
But then I was his kid, not to just make it look like we're a normal family looking kind of group. And right when we approached them, we're like, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" And then we're just like, "So about your business practices."
Where's your food handler's card? What permits do you have?
And they would just immediately just kind of get really reclusive and just not want to answer, or just kind of try and divert back to, "Oh, you guys want to order something?" And then I realized, these maybe aren't the best people. I don't think they're supposed to be selling food.
I want to go there and see if my flea market had tequila, pistachios, which actually had no alcohol in them, but they were coated with coarse salt and lemon, I think, and they were really, really good, except after you eat maybe 10, your mouth is going to feel sore. And I also want to get corn with sour cream and chili and cheese. Mexican corn. I want to. Haven't had that in a while.
But yeah, that's about everything, I suppose. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, that's about everything.
Wow, you really ran out of things.
We're already at an hour and 18 minutes. I don't think I should add anything.
I don't mind. It's fine. I mean, it was very interesting. Anyway, it wasn't like we weren't just sitting in moments of silence. Like,
Yeah.
how's your day been going? I don't know.
Well, okay, it's like two more small things if I can try to finish them within 2 minutes. One, McDonald's. Very disappointed in the quality of McDonald's food here. I mean,
here.
McDonald's in general is, low quality, but
when I went to McDonald's in Fresno,
right.
the buns were fluffy.
Yes.
The food was put together right. I got I got the order right.
Yeah, and especially if you ask for your food fresh, it's gonna annoy us, but like, dude, go for it.
Their ice cream machine was working. Down here, oh my god, you're gonna get a squish burger. Then it's soggy. They put the cheese on weird.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Like, one corner of my cheese was taken off and put on the other corner. Like, what are you doing? like, oop, the corner fell off. Time to put it over here.
Yeah, and the buns are always just soggy and squished.
It's just not great.
It doesn't. It looks like very. I don't even know.
It's just very poorly put together. Every time I'm craving McDonald's, I just literally miss my McDonald's where I work, because like, damn, we kind of put a little bit of quality into.
Yeah, because the McDonald's down there you worked at, they resembled the menu pictures.
Yeah, like you would actually get a burger and it would actually look.
It resemble
very similar to the like how it's supposed
down
to.
Here though, you look at that menu and you're like, damn, that looks
deceived.
Good, and then you get it and you're like, the fuck.
Yeah.
The fuck is this?
And then another thing that I miss about Fresno, like really what I miss most about Fresno is like some foods, even though there's like a lot of really good food here. But one thing I miss is one of my dad's friends had a little taqueria going on in his home where he had like a little tent set up, and him and his wife, she made homemade tortillas, and they would sell tacos and burritos, and oh my god, the burritos were so good. I had my dad take me there like a couple of times, and then he kind of got tired of like driving all the way there for the burritos, but I wish he had taken me one last time, because I really miss that guy's burritos are like the best I've had, and that's why whenever I was here, I was like craving a burrito so
also,
bad.
Tamales. I had my first ever tamale that I can remember.
Yeah.
I've never had it. Yeah, that was my first ever tamale. Even from when I don't remember, I don't think I've ever had one.
Yeah, I think you mentioned maybe at church a couple times.
No, they sold them at my church, but I never got any. Because they would say, hot tamales, and I was thinking, oh, hot, that means spicy, and I never wanted one. It's not what they
probably
meant.
just meant warm, yeah.
We
went to Vallarta
church. Yeah, that Mexican store.
Yeah, it's such a nice store.
And oh my god, the chicken tamales were so
the green
damn
chili
good.
Chicken tamales,
and
were so good.
That was really good. And ever since then, I really wanted to get a tamale. And then Brandon made those pork tamales.
Yeah, his grandma.
Oh, it was so good.
Good. Like I wish I remembered exactly how to make them. I have a general idea, but I would have to like ask my mom for the specifics, or just look up a recipe and just kind of like tweak it to what I know is good. I feel like I could make some good tamales. It just takes a lot of work, but yeah, pretty darn good.
Well, anyway. That seems a good spot to wrap up for this podcast after an hour and 21 minutes.
Yes.
That's fine. I don't mind. It's just gonna take a while to render out, I guess. Put it through Premiere.
It was the first half or first 40 minutes where we were talking about demographic. That's probably where it was the most redundant, because I was all over the place.
It was so good. We covered every base, but anyway, yeah. So the next podcast should be I keep saying, oh, it's gonna be in a week. It should be soon. Then like 2 weeks goes by.
Well, Patty wants to do one, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get to. I would love to hope that it's gonna happen soon. Patty, I was talking to Patty. I was like, hey, want to hang out? She's like, no, but soon, let's do a podcast.
She's like, not today, I'm tired, which is fine, because I was tired too.
She was just tired today.
We were both tired, and you were like, no, let's hang out. I was like, man, I'm tired.
But she wanted to do a podcast. I'm not sure what I want to do for that one. I kind of want to either hit her with a curveball and be like, what do you remember from ages 9 to 18? Go. Or maybe just, I don't know. I'll talk about
casual
something.
Casual
conversations with Patty. Anything with Patty is everything but casual, but so damn interesting.
We can talk about Mr. Pickles. We can talk about like the weird things that happen in the friend group.
Our main character energy.
Yeah.
Our friend group has very big main character energy. Mr. Pickles, which we'll talk about Mr. Pickles maybe. You'll see if we talk about Mr. Pickles. He was a horny dog.
I can talk about Mr. Pickles in my when I talk about all the creepy guys I've encountered.
Ooh, yes, because Mr. Pickles was a guy dog.
One of those creepy guy dogs.
Yep. But we'll talk about Mr. Pickles maybe. Well, I don't know. I'll go all over the place with her. I'll freak her out. I'll freak her out. Well, she told me to pick the topic. I'll freak her out. yeah, so that I guess concludes the seventh episode of the podcast. We're really getting there. I keep saying I'm gonna do one with JT soon, but we keep not being able to. It's either we're too busy or he's doing something.
Maybe in like 2 weeks when he's down here.
He's coming down this weekend, but just for Nerf War things. But then the weekend after that, he said he's gonna be like down here again, and that's when I offered him to spend the night here as well. Also with Caitlin too, she'd probably spend the night as well. Then I'll probably have an opportunity to do a podcast with him. It might not be the crazy one we had planned. I don't know when that'll happen, but we will get to hear from JT sometime soon. But yeah, I know that Patty will be 95% the next one, then either JT or Caitlin, because I still want to do one with Caitlin. I don't know about what, but Harold.
Harold, perhaps. Even though you kind of just told the whole story this time.
No, it's not the whole story. There's so much more to Harold.
Okay.
There's a funeral. There's our back and forth with him.
Yeah.
How I got him there.
All right, don't give it all away.
Oh, I'm not. That's what I'm just saying. What you think? Oh, we just found him in my house. Caitlin and me raised him. Oh, that's the end of the story. No. Oh my God. So of course in the description there is my Instagram and there is also my print shop. I will be adding more pictures to the print shop as well. I've done a lot more photography. I'm pretty sure I talked about photography in the podcast I did by myself. That one was all over the place. I need to fix that. I need to work on that for the next one I do by myself. I need to have more direction. But either way, I've been doing a lot more photography, so I will maybe update that soon. And of course, you can find all my photography work on my Instagram. I post pretty often, I'd say. Maybe once once a week. To like a 10 image post. I always post in 10s. But either way, thank y'all for listening. Any words to end it off here?
No, hope y'all enjoyed listening to that, and see you next time I'm on, whenever that is.
Yeah, this has been Vivi, and see y'all next time.
Bye.